welcome everyone to the live show for the November pick for the Genre Soup Book Club. And yeah, as you can see, there's just me and Natalie today.
The Genre
So,
Soup Club is a little bit in crisis. As you can see, it's almost the 20th, and now we're talking about the November pick.
yeah,
Life, life. We also have
holidays.
our co-host missing. So yeah, Ugo is because he can no longer really be engaging the book club. He has stuff going on in his personal life. So you won't be seeing him around much. And then Mel wanted to be here. That was the original plan that was going to happen. But they are pregnant, and so they have morning sickness really, really bad. So they were not able to join us today, but they will in the future. It's not a forever thing. Just shit that happens when you're pregnant.
Yeah, so temporary changes to the book club right now. Also, hi Kat, thanks for coming on our very late notice. And
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully they'll feel better soon.
Yes, yes.
And also, besides that, Hugo was our mastermind in planning. So, our book club will not be as planned, like with all the themes and stuff like that, until he comes back when he can. Hi, Roro. So, we'll still
Hello.
be doing the monthly like genre.
Genre.
So we'll still be changing all the genres every month. It's just we'll probably leave it up in the air. We won't have like themes or anything. So if you have any books you really want to read, just drop them in the Discord and yeah.
Yes, and so January, thank you, Roro. So January will be thriller slash horror. So if there's any thriller or horror that you're really, really dying to read, you should definitely drop that in the Discord so that we can read some thriller or horror and just vibe with that.
Yes, free for all for now.
Yes. Yes, free for all for now until our masterminds can come back.
And we can't. No. And I think that's about it for December. If anybody's reading it already, it's You're a Mean One, Matthew Prince. So it's a holiday theme kind of thing. So if you want to join us for our live show in January, we'll be doing that. Hopefully with more than just two of us. But we'll
Hopefully there will be
see.
3 of us.
Yes.
And it's already gonna be a contentious live because Mel's feelings are completely opposite to mine. I'm still working my way through that one, but I'm loving it. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So, anyway, this is not the live for that, so we'll talk
No.
about that eventually.
This is the live for The Witch's Heart by Genevieve Gornichec. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, we'll start with non-spoilers and everything. So if you haven't read it, we'll tell you when the spoilers are so you can get on out. But thoughts? Nat, how did you
Um,
feel about the book?
I feel like we should talk a little bit about it's about.
Oh,
So
true.
it's about this witch called Angrboda. And so she lives basically in the middle of nowhere. She doesn't want anyone to bother her. She's just vibing. And so one day, Loki, after she's killed, is like, here's your heart, by the way. And so it's kind of ish their romance, but not really.
Kinda.
It's mostly just about her life, and Loki is a significant part of it because of things. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, it is Greek myth, and a lot of it is based on actual things, but still, I don't know enough of the myths to know what would be spoilers or not, basically.
Yeah. I don't know much about Norse mythology either, so oh wow. But also adding on to that, she's in the woods kind of hiding from Odin because she has prophetic powers. So yeah, there's that. And the future isn't looking too good. So there's that as well. And yeah, she's trying to figure all of that out with some romance in there.
Yes, yes. So, and I was not
Also,
expecting this to be. Yes, I gave this book 5 stars. I adored it so much. And literally, I was putting it off so much. I was like, not today. I'm not going to start it today. I'm not going to start it today. And all of it is because this book has the one of the most boring covers I've ever seen. It's not like
yeah,
it's not
it's
even
not the
ugly. It's just boring. And I just look at it and I'm like, why would I or anyone read that? And then I ended up loving it. So that's what I get for being superficial and vain.
I'm glad you ended up liking it. I was like, "Okay, this is on my channel this time. I actually have to read it before the day of the live show." So I started, like, 2 weeks ago, and I read, like, 15% of it, and I was like, "Oh, I really don't wanna pick this book back up right now. I'm just not in the mood for it."
Valid.
So, I do as I usually do. I read, like, all of it yesterday with the audiobook. I ended up loving it as well. I think it was probably like a 4.25 stars for me. It was really, really good. But yeah, I definitely can see like this book wouldn't be for everyone, I feel like. Oh
Yeah,
no,
no, I
cat.
thought it was so see,
Exactly, yeah.
this is the kind of book that I can definitely see why people would think it's boring and not vibe with it at all, because
Yeah.
a lot of my faves, not all of them, but a lot of them, people are like, "It's boring, there's no plot, nothing happens," and I'm like, "Well, that's your opinion." I can see where it's coming from, but that's your opinion. Um, but yeah, no, I part of it is that like Angerboda definitely is not like a feminist icon in any way. She's very complacent. She like doesn't want to do anything unprovoked. And even when she is provoked, like she has to be pushed really, really far in order to have a reaction that you're like, bitch, finally at last, because hello. Um, so yeah, Angerboda, you either can vibe with her or you don't. So
She just
yeah.
wanted to live in peace in the forest. And people did not
Literally,
let
for me,
her
part of it's
be.
like I can relate. I'm like, yeah, if I could just live in peace in the forest, I would. But
Yeah,
naturally,
just
no.
no, no thank you. But also hi.
Hi.
3.2.
Great.
Okay, that's not bad. I feel like
Not
that's
bad.
pretty yeah.
No, that's pretty decent. Scotty supremacy. Yes.
We'll get
Scotty,
into that.
listen, she is the only adult character worth anything. Worth absolutely anything. Like obviously Angerboda is worth something, but
Yeah.
everyone else, Scotty's the only one worth anything.
I was really rooting for Loki until a little
He made
later.
one comment and I was like, "You are dead to me right now, sir." And I'm here like I love Loki. So like part of also why I was nervous to read this is because I have a very specific vision of Loki in my mind, and that is the curse of
Oh.
having fallen in love with Tom Hiddleston as Loki. It's a disease. It's an illness. And so because of that, when I'm reading anything like reinterpreting Norse mythology, if I don't fuck with your version of Loki, I will not fuck with your book. It's not gonna happen. I can't do it. But this one wrote his character so well. Like the author did
Good.
such a perfect job of making him both likable but also insufferable. It's
Oh, I just wanted to strangle him sometimes.
I literally. And like there's a point when Angerboda starts actually really being annoyed with him before he says what will not be forgiven. Before
Yeah.
that, he starts getting like really annoyed with him and he's like, but I'm just the same as I've always been. Like I have not changed.
Oh,
And I'm like, this is so
cute.
true, but also
No.
Angerboda's right. Like you have kids now. Like
Exactly. You
with
started a
her,
mhm. No, he
get
started a
with her.
family and he was like, "Nah, peace."
Yeah. I don't think he
Honestly.
was likable. I think the banter was good. Um, I can see that. I can see that. Um, for me, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, I'm not saying the Loki of Marvel and this Loki are the same. The vibes, though, I think the heart of the character or the god,
Mhm.
whatever, are still there. And so that's what I really love about it because sometimes some of the ones I've read, I'm like, who the fuck is that? Because it's not Loki. um and especially like when you think of like the trickster part or like he's not reliable and he's not in Marvel, he's not reliable in Marvel and he's not reliable here but in a different way basically.
Yeah.
It's not that he's purposefully trying to make Angerboda's life a living hell, it just
No. It's just
accidentally
not
happens sometimes.
him. Yeah, he just needs to use the brain a little more.
Yeah, no, for real.
But I liked him in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no,
But
um,
Hugo called it. He was like, "Natalie, you're gonna like this one," and he was right.
absolutely right. I was like,
Yeah, you were so skeptical.
I don't know about that. And then the book really said, just wait, just
Mhm.
wait. It still took me a while to read it because I'm a poor tired teacher, but I loved it. I
Aw.
loved I loved it.
So who do you think this book would be good for?
For me, this is for the people who like character driven books. Like there's plot, but it's really like about Angerboda more than
Yeah.
it is about the things that the larger things happening.
Mm,
Because there's also like psychological stuff with her inner battles with Odin. Um, so it's really like if you don't vibe with that, you're not gonna vibe with this. For me, it definitely makes sense to pair this with like in a not in a beat by beat, but like in some ways, if you vibe, for example, with the Song of Achilles, you're gonna vibe with this, but not because
mm.
of the romance story element. No, just the narrative approach to retelling myths and stuff. I think that part might pull you in, but not like, oh, we're gonna, follow this beautiful romance bound to tragedy or whatever. No, not
No.
because of um
But, I haven't read The Song of Achilles yet, so I might need to go check that out now. Cause I
I
want the
love
romance
don't even
too.
get me started with the Song of Achilles because that's like in probably in my top 5 books of
Really? All
like
time?
I love it. I am Madeline Miller's bitch. Like I love all her shit. She's just so good. She's just
Really? What
yes,
else
I
has
love.
she written?
She hasn't written that much because the love and attention she puts into her books, that shit just takes time, you
Mm.
know? So her other book is Circe. And for me, going
Oh,
back to
that's
that,
her too.
yeah. So like it takes time because like I see these authors putting out books really, really fast, and some of them can manage writing a decent book every year. But some of it, I'm like, bro, why didn't you take longer with this? Like, just take your time. Like, there's really no rush. Like, we don't have to rush to the finish line. And that belief is very, very real to me because of Madeline Miller and because of Erin Morgenstern. I'm like, they take their sweet ass time, but what they craft is just it's not like everyone else. They're not like everyone else, okay? So, yeah,
Wait, what has
that.
Erin Morgenstern wrote?
The Night Circus and The
Ah,
Starless E,
okay. All
which
books
are
that I
also
have yet
books
to read.
which are also books that it's like if you're not character driven, or in the case of Erin Morgenstern, like setting driven, like settings are characters in Erin Morgenstern's books. So
Mm.
like if you don't fuck with that, you're gonna be like, what the hell did I just get into? I cannot with this. But if you fuck with that, it's gonna be
Okay.
your shit.
I
It's
need
gonna
to
be your
try
shit.
that now.
I didn't vibe with the plot or the characters, but the areas where things pop off are done so well. Okay.
Mm. I need to know more later. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
I need
if
more details, Kat.
yeah,
What were the parts that for you pop?
maybe in the spoilers, I feel like
Yeah,
probably we'll hear more. But I think, yeah, if you don't like the characters, you won't like the book for this one because it's so character. Like, you just follow
yeah,
Angrboda. So if you find her, like, really annoying or something and you can't deal with her, you just won't like the book too.
yeah. No, 100%. And then I'm trying to think of more spoiler-free things. There's this one friend that Scotty has who is my fucking nemesis. I won't say why, but
Mhm.
that character, I don't even know her name because truly flew right over my head. I don't know her name. I think it's like Gerd. It's how it's
Bird,
said.
yeah.
I don't know how to write it because
It's
I
just
just listened to
Gerd.
well, that one insufferable.
That one.
Insufferable. She drank the patriarchy Kool-Aid and like it's part of her soul at this point. She's the worst. Honestly.
See, I didn't
I'm
like
like,
her, but I didn't hate like, she just flew. I was like, "Okay, girl, bye."
no, for me, it's tied to like she's trying to be Angerboda's friend, but ultimately she's the shittiest friend ever,
Yeah, honestly.
basically.
Nope.
So I'm like, no, no.
I can see that. Yeah. Just,
And the comment Cat just made, yes, yes, I agree. I knew
Yeah.
Gerd was from the first line. The first time she showed up, I was like, no, she does not pass the vibe check. She does not pass the vibe check.
But then she
She
was nice for a bit until she
for a
wasn't
bit.
again.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I did not trust her. I was like,
Oh.
okay, you're fine for now, but
You knew, you had a feeling.
yeah, no. I'm like, I don't trust this change of heart. I don't.
Oh,
Um, and what
what
else?
else? This book
Uh,
made me almost cry. I teared up, but I didn't cry.
no, I cried at
Oh
the end.
my
I
god.
cried at the end. I was like,
You
"Oh my
did.
god."
My heart
Yeah.
hurt reading this book. I was like, "Oh no, why?"
No, for me, anytime I cry or almost cry sus, yes. That's like a 5 star for me. I'm like, okay, it caused that much of an emotional reaction. We're slapping a 5 star
I
on this
love
bad
that.
boy.
Oh, I wanna read more Norse mythology now just from this book.
No,
Just
I go back to the I'm picky, so I'm always afraid.
the
I
low
live in
the low
fear.
keys.
Especially because part of my issue is that the only Norse mythology character I care about is Loki.
Low key.
So why would I go into a Norse mythology book that has nothing to do with Loki? But
Mm.
also, what if I go into one and it's absolutely abysmal? Because it's about Loki and I don't like how Loki's written. It's
Oh.
inescapable. So
Okay,
that is
maybe
why
Natalie should stay away then.
I live in fear.
You just need Hugo to read all of them and then tell you which ones you will
Yes,
like.
exactly, exactly. Ugo just needs to tell me, that's it.
Yup. I think that's all I have for non-spoilers.
Okay, let me think. Any other characters? It's just so heavily focused on just
On
Angerboda,
Angrboda, yeah. I feel like
Loki,
Loki, yeah, Angrboda, and oh my gosh,
Scotty
Scotty.
supremacy, but because she's so loyal. She is the only true person in fucking
He
Angerboda's life. Like she's the only
is
one there through thick and thin, like always.
that
So
was uh they were goals, like, their connection and, like, just how loyal she is. Goals.
yes, yes, 100%. Ugo is Loki's screener. Yes.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I
So
agree.
for real, like she did because like there's queer vibes here, which I did not know going into the book. And I
Mhm.
ended up finding some reviews that were like, oh, I went into this for the queer vibes. And then it's like, there's not that
Oh,
much of it. And I'm
yeah.
like, well, if you're a psychopath like me, you saw it from the beginning. You saw the vibes from the very start. So technically, it was there all along, but like actually getting together, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not enough. And I feel like we should have gotten more. Like I really wanted more of that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say like if you've heard of this book and people have really pushed like the queer part, like don't expect it to be like
Yeah.
it's not fucking the Song of Achilles where these people are in love from the very start and they know it basically. Like it's not that. It's not that. This is for the long haul. It's a slow burn that you might not even notice it's a slow burn.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, past 50% kind of thing.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, don't go into it thinking, yeah, no.
You 2 caught it really early on. I was
The
looking
kids
through
that
the
you were
Discord
driving for, yes.
today.
Yeah, no. The thing about it is that one, I'm such a big romance reader that I just catch the signs without even trying. Like I cannot even rationally explain it to you. I start reading and I'm like, I'm getting this energy, this vibe that feels homosexual. So I was like, something about this is not very hetero to me. So I mean, and I would actually say like both Angerboda and Scotty are like bi, or like in that spectrum. Like
Yeah.
they're not actually lesbians. Um, but you know, the gay agenda still thrives, but it takes a while. It takes a while.
I only
For me,
got it
actually,
when
one of the big indicators that Angerboda was not straight was actually how incredibly chill she was about Loki becoming a fucking female horse. I forget the name for that. A female horse and having a baby as a I was like, see, that does not feel hetero to me.
what? I did
For
not
me,
catch
I was like,
that.
and she loved it so much. She was so happy being there with him while he was pregnant. It was actually wild. And I was like, I feel the gay agenda here.
I didn't
So,
catch it until, like, we found out that Scotty got married, and then I was
okay.
like, "Oh, I feel it now. I see where it's going." But I
They're
agree.
soulmates.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Yes.
Yes. I wanted more of it
Mhm.
actually. I actually wanted so much more of it. I was like, you sprinkled it in here, here and there, but you could have done a bit more with that. So like that was my only actual complaint with like Loki's character because in general I feel like based on Marvel alone, I feel like his gender fluidity is so fucking underused. And I'm like, and for
Mhm.
what, bitch? What are you afraid of? He can literally do it. He's a fucking god. Like, stop being afraid.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah.
I think you're
So
just a Loki lover, Natalie.
no, again, and this is why I go back to I'm picky with books about Loki. I'm like, not just anything's gonna fucking satisfy me. No.
Okay. Any other
Okay, so we go into
non-spoilers?
spoilers.
Yeah, I think we
I feel
should.
like we should
We're
go
going
through.
into spoilers, so if you don't wanna be spoiled, leave!
Yes, exactly. Spoiler territory now.
Yeah, somebody just popped into spoilers now. So,
Yes, we are talking spoilers.
okay, you have been warned. Oh my gosh.
I mean,
Natalie would be so down for that.
no comment. No comment. Um um okay, spoilers. The biggest one is when Loki fucking tells Angerboda, like, do you really just want to be remembered as the mother of monsters and the wife of Loki? I was like, you're my enemy now, actually. You're my enemy. I want you to suffer. I want you to die once what the hell is it called? Ragnarok comes. Just fuck you, basically.
He really got on my nerves.
I
I
was
think
like,
I took, like, a myth class way back in high school, and I do remember I think Angrboda is called known as the mother of monsters, so I feel like the author was kinda tying into that. But,
yeah.
Loki and his
But
children heard him say it too.
yeah, no, I'm like, Loki, do you have anything up here? Because, like, literally, two of your children have superhuman hearing. Like, use what's
The
up here. I don't
brain,
know
yeah.
what's up there, but use it because
Use
you
the
are
brain
not.
cells a little more.
No, for real.
Oh. Let me write
Let
my
me read my
paper.
paper real quick. Oh my
Page
gosh, page
150.
150. That's how
That's how
many
many
for the book to get good. Okay.
mhm.
I have no concept of the page numbers since I only listened to the audiobook, so I'm here like vibes.
Yeah.
Be yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Plus I
I
like
wish it was chapter breaks in this book.
yeah, yeah, no, there were, like, sections because there were definitely parts that, like, the audiobook was like, "Blah, blah, blah," like, this is the name of this section, but there weren't traditional chapters, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." I feel like that actually would have been exhausting to read it physically, without the chapter breaks. Because I'm like I love books with, like, short chapters because
Me
of the sense
too.
of accomplishment, so
Glee.
I feel like if I had only read this physically, I would have struggled.
No,
I would
because the in the book, it's only separated into part 1, part 2, part 3, and then between the chapters in the audiobooks, it's just, like, asterisks, and that's it. And I'm like, "Ah, this is really, really long." When Loki said that, and Edgar would have yes!
yeah,
Most of the time yeah. I
yeah,
was
so
like,
that's why
"Why
I was
is
saying
this?"
yeah, that's why I was saying that, like, Angrboda's the kind of character, like, if you really don't like her, it's not gonna work for you, and, like, it's not even about liking her, it's, like, about being able to handle being in the head of someone like Angrboda,
Mhm.
uh, who is very much, like, she's just gonna let, all the hits accumulate. Like it's a cup and it's slowly one drop, another drop. And it's gonna take a fucking while for her to finally say, okay, glass is full. I'm gonna fucking blow a gasket now. So yeah, no, she's definitely um not easy to anger. She'll
Mm-mm.
bottle up stuff and um yeah, it's like yeah, no.
Yeah,
Oh, I
when
just got
Loki casually mentioned that he married somebody else, I thought she would get so much angrier than she did. She was just like, "What?" And that was it.
yeah, no, for real. I was mad. I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, I was like, "Didn't you just say, like, you loved each other? Like, there was
Yeah.
something special there?" And then he had, like, y okay, you can marry the woman, fine, and then you have a kid with her too, and you're having, like, actual relationship with her. It's not just like, "Oh, you were forced to marry someone."
Yeah, no, because literally what's her name again? I don't remember her name.
Gerd?
Um no, no, no. Loki's other wife. Uh
Oh, I don't
what
remember
was her
either.
I don't remember, but like she clearly had a good relationship with Loki because she was willing to risk it all for this man. Like she was. So I'm like, clearly you don't just have a meaningful relationship with Angerboda. You have to have a meaningful relationship with your other wife as well.
I
Because
couldn't
otherwise she would
tell.
not care. She would not care. No, I feel like really it was in the way that like once he was trapped and like to keep the poison from falling into his face, like she literally was there trapped with him and
Yeah.
holding the bowl to make sure like as much as she could, like as much strength as she could have to stop that from happening, she held that fucking bowl to catch the poison. um what else did she do? There was something else that she did that I was like,
What's her
this
name?
Sigyun. Yeah, Sigun. Sigyun, something like that the audiobook said. Sigun. So yeah, I'm like, there were several things that she did. That's the main one that like just easily comes to mind. But like there
Mm.
were several things that she did that I'm like, clearly you cannot be all bad, or this woman would not do this for you.
Yeah. She seemed
Like she
really hurt. when she saw Angrboda, even though she knew about Angrboda, apparently she seemed really hurt for them to not have like some type of a good relationship. But
Yeah.
when she was first mentioned, I thought she was like, I wasn't sure if she was just like head over heels for Loki, kind of like just loved him just to love him kind of thing. But after I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Because Garrett felt more like, oh, I have to be a dutiful wife. And so some of the things that she did ruined Angerboda's life, but she did it out of like, well, I'm a wife, and so my wifely duties include doing this. Because from the very start, she was that way. She was like, you're married and you're not wearing a fucking veil over your hair?
Oh
What's
my
wrong with
god.
you? And then what was the other thing? What was the other thing? Because the thing I just remembered was actually Scotty, and I can fucking understand why. That Scotty fucking hated Loki. She's like, where the hell is this man? Like, you're about to give
Yeah.
birth to this child. Where is he? You say you
No.
have a husband. Where is the man?
Does he just come
So
here for the sex and leave? Is that what you're letting him do?
yeah, exactly.
But
Um
let's see. That's a
and she just took so much, but I respect it because of how it all worked out in the end.
yeah.
Um yeah, it's just like that's just who she was. And you know, and I didn't know anger was that. So he asked her to marry him. I was like, wait, this is good. Is it going to end? So
Oh no! So like Loki actually has a wife in the in the real myths. I'm
yeah,
looking
no, when I heard the name Segun in the audiobook, I was like, that sounds familiar. Not like overwhelmingly, like I know exactly who this is and their purpose, but I was like, this name, there's something there. And so
mm,
yeah, and for me, I hadn't heard of Angerboda at all. Or what was her original name? Fucking it
it
was
started with
also
a
something,
G.
yeah, something else abysmal. Like all her names are so hideous. Like she's like, I don't care. That's what I want. That's my name now. Um, but yeah. Yeah, no. I was in the moment with Anchor Boda, so when he told her that he married someone else, I was like, excuse
Yeah, exactly. That was my. I was like, what did you just say to me?
me? Yeah.
Go.
Gulveg. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Gulveg.
Coming to
Yes.
our. You know
Yes.
all the names, Cat.
Yeah, no. Cat's memory immaculate. Mine abysmal.
Me too. No, they married her to get younger, but just probably. Are you
Crap.
married? Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
exactly.
was.
Yeah, that was one of
Mm-mm.
the other things that she said. Gert's like, how are you pregnant? Where's your man?
Yeah, where's your
And
man?
I'm like, what's your problem? I'm like, how does this affect you? That's what I want to know. I'm like, how does this affect you in any way? It doesn't. So, like, why are you so invested?
She
So,
just
for me,
needed to mind her own business.
yeah, yeah, no. And that's why, again, she ended up married off and ruining everything. Just straight up ruining
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I wasn't oh, what's this? Can we
can we just say that Gulveg and Robota's life suffers from misogyny? It's a classic tale of such a powerful woman being portrayed as evil or mother of
Mhm.
monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw a review that was kind of annoyed that she's presented in a kind of like meek way, very complacent with being like pushed around and shit. But I was like, well, she has the right to be portrayed that way. Like, not every portrayal that's quote unquote feminist has to be about her, like a female figure, like whether it's mythical or just contemporary, wherever. It doesn't have to be like, oh, she kicks ass all the time
Yeah.
and she doesn't take anyone's bullshit, blah blah blah. Like, back to what Melody said, like, it's about, like, she just wants to live in the fucking forest and chill, and no one wants to let her. Like, that's it. That's what she wants. And people keep trying to get her, and it's like, I just want to
It's
be
so
here
annoying.
with my children, left alone. Like, leave me out of this.
Yes, just live in the edge of the world with her kids. Just let her
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
It didn't
no.
take her kids, none of this would have happened also.
Literally, no, that's for me the other annoying thing. Like, Odin was so like, I need to know everything. I need to know everything. And then the way I'm gonna solve this is by
It's
making literal
nothing.
it's like by making literal enemies of the monsters that are supposed to help end the fucking world. I'm like, bro, you really have nothing up here, because where is the logic? Yes, he needed to
Yes.
stay. If he had left Angerboda and her kids alone, Ragnarok would not have happened. It would not
Also,
have happened.
he just wanted to know what would happen just to know. He didn't even do anything to try to stop the end of the world. So, like, what was the point in everything? It didn't make sense.
No, for real. For real.
Honestly, they did give away energy.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% frat boy energy, and I cannot stand that energy. That
Nope.
energy is irritating as hell. I'm like, no. No.
But what else? I feel like there was a lot to be angry about. Those people get on my
Um,
nerves sometimes.
no, for real. What else? I felt so bad for Hal.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it was like this poor kid, and she held up all that anger towards her mom because she's like, who the fuck else am I gonna be angry at? Like,
I was like, "Be angry at your father,
no, for
please."
real, I also felt the same way. I was like, stop being such a daddy's little girl and realize that your daddy ain't shit. Like,
Exactly. He called
he
you a monster and literally gave you away to the gods and did nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And like Angerboda begged him to do something. And he's like, I can't.
Nope.
I
He
can't
just
do
carried Hal
anything.
away and they walked away, and it was like,
Yeah, and it's like ultimately, for me, one of the things that also like stabbed me in the heart is that ultimately Loki didn't want to lose his position of power. That's what it came down to. Like, he doesn't even really have the respect of the other gods, but to
nope.
at least be held technically on paper to the same standard, to the same level of them, was enough for him to take their shit and do shit that he didn't actually want to do. And I'm like, why? Why? No.
Also, by the end of it, he still was cast aside and he joined the other side with the giants anyways. So you could have saved yourself so much
Yeah.
trouble by just letting the power and the name go.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. For real.
but yeah, there were
Those
some
daddy issues.
there are some
Yes.
daddy issues there. And that's
100%.
why the rating is lower because it's a beautiful story. But what was
What
the
was
point?
um I mean okay, to be real though, I didn't really think it was gonna go all the way to for real Ragnarok, like Ragnarok for real happening and almost everyone dying. Like,
Dying?
I
Yeah.
didn't think it was gonna do that. Um, So yeah, for me, that's why I ended up loving it, but for other reasons. um,
I think
I do.
when
Mhm.
like, the point where the kids were taken and everything is when I started, like, getting really into the book. Like, the beginning, I was like, I could stop reading this just to, like if I had other books to read." But once we hit that point, I was like I was so invested. I needed to know what would happen.
um, so yeah, no. Loki is a joke and art yeah, like he's a joke and I don't get why he chose them
Because he
because
needed the brain cells.
it doesn't make sense. Like they don't respect him at all. And
Mhm.
literally they think he's a freak. They think he's a fucking freak for being able to shapeshift and
Yeah.
like enjoy being different fucking things that are not just a man. And it's like why do you want to suck up to these assholes? Like, no, no. There was so
And
much
then
buildup when the
also
kids were taken, then it got slow again until the very end with Ragnarok. Yeah, because then Angerbolt is just vibing, being like, I need to figure out a way to communicate with my children. And then it's just a while of, okay, let me help these people. Let me
I
help
like the talking wolf, though.
the talking wolf was
That was
excellent. I love her.
I
I
really
love
like her.
she's
So I
great.
was cool.
I'm pretty sure she didn't have a name. Did she end up giving her one? Because I know she said like, "Oh, I forgot my name. I used to have one, but I don't give a shit."
Yeah, I
Basically,
don't think they ever gave her a name.
yeah. So, but
That
she
would
was,
let us know.
yeah, she had enough personality. She didn't need a name. The
The
wolf
wolf
was
was
top tier when you paired up
popular
with
and
Scotty. Legendary. Yeah,
yes.
also sad. I was also like, I get why Scotty wanted to go into battle and all of that, but I was like, no, you're just gonna
Yeah.
leave Agamotto by herself to die.
I feel like
Um,
she really stuck to her character by leaving though, and, like, going
yeah,
with her
she did.
father.
She did
Yeah.
because like at heart she was more of a warrior type. Um,
Yeah.
so she obviously loved Angrboda. Um, and Angrboda was very important to her, but like ultimately she's like, no, I have to do this for the honor basically of my family.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and that was clear from the start. Um, and also brought in humor with like she had double reason to not stand Loki. It was like not only did Loki slight Angerboda time and time again, but like he was also involved in her dad dying. Like I wouldn't say he's the main reason. Like I really wouldn't put that on Loki,
Mm.
but it was still like you didn't need to get involved in this way.
No, he always puts his foot in things that he does not need to be involved in.
Literally, literally. And then he
Just
pays the
mind
price.
your own business, man.
Yeah, for real. It's like stay in your lane. Stay in
Yeah.
your lane.
Just like Odin, they both just needed to stick.
No, Odin was so annoying.
He was.
Uh,
He Wolf did not
and
have
yeah,
a name.
Beowulf did not have a name. Yeah. Um, what else? What else?
I
I'm
really
trying to.
like the reunion between the 2 brothers, the snake and the wolf.
Oh, that was really sweet. And I
It's
was
so
happy that they were
cute.
not angry with Angerboda because that would
Me
have broken
too.
my heart. I was like, okay, they're not mad. All right.
I was bracing myself after Hell's reaction. I was like,
Yeah,
"No."
exactly. After Hell was an absolute menace, I was like, okay, hold it together, keep it together. But they were actually like, no, we don't blame you or anything. It's fine.
I
Um,
wouldn't have minded if Fenrir, like, ripped Loki to shreds, though. I would have been okay
for
with
real.
that.
100% I would have been fine with that. I was like, "You're in your right to do that."
Yeah.
Because, no, no.
Can we talk about Hell and I don't know his name. The dude that got brought back to life. It starts with a B or something.
Ah, shit. Is it Hell's boyfriend
Balder.
or
I think it was Balder.
yeah, Boulder. I remember it sounded like the word boulder or something.
Balder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and yes, Fenrir was awesome. Although actually no, the only part where I was betrayed by Fenrir and however you say the snake's name, Jurgamon, whatever, however you say his
Yeah.
name. The only time I was betrayed by them was when they killed Hell's goats. I was like, excuse?
Yeah, they're like, we're hungry. There's not enough food in the forest.
And
No.
it's like, and anyway, my daddy thinks I'm a monster, so why the hell wouldn't I eat fucking the goats anyway? And
That
I'm
was
like, you
so
will have to live
annoying.
into it. Oh, I was so annoyed. I was like, no,
No.
no,
No.
my children, stop, get help. I was like, it really was like, all y'all need therapy. I don't know who's gonna offer it to you, but you all need therapy.
I don't think it would go well in that therapy room. They would they just start fighting each other. Listen, I was
I wasn't
annoying
going
for
for
seeing
teenagers who are going through some emotion. No, I don't know. I really liked Hell. I don't know why, but she just really I felt for her
Me
basically. I
too.
was like I just felt for her. And I could understand her like blowing out being like basically why the hell did you bring me back to life? Cuz she was
Yeah,
technically
yeah,
stillborn basically.
yeah.
Um, but Angerboda got her soul back. Um, and then she had her body all fucked up because of it. And it's like, I get it. You know, I
Mhm.
get it. You didn't ask for any of this shit. Which yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually more heartbroken than mad. I was just like, no,
I feel
don't
like
do this.
she didn't wanna get hurt again. So I thought she
Yeah,
would come around. So I wasn't super, like, angry at her.
yeah, I was really hoping that she would come around, and she did. So I was like,
It
okay,
did. Yeah.
fine. Um, but then Boulder and Hal,
My
yeah,
heart!
so
I
cute,
couldn't with them.
so cute,
I was
absolutely.
looking up to see if that was, like, actually part of the myths, the original myths, and I don't think they ever actually had a romance in the original myths. But
Okay.
there is a book, another retelling that tells a romance between them 2, and I'm very tempted to read.
Oh, what book is that?
It is what is it? It's called Hell's Lover: A Beauty and the Beast retelling inspired by Norse mythology by Samantha MacLeod.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was
And it's only
Googling it and it popped up.
58 pages.
Oh, is it
Okay.
that short?
Yeah, so I feel like it's the kind of book that could either be really good or really bad. Like no
Really
in
bad.
between.
Mhm.
Like no in between. It's either gonna be great or you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? But added it to my eternal TBR list.
They
That's
were
what these lists are for, to be endless.
endless. Oh, there was cute. He
Yeah,
was. And he
Balder was
stayed in the forest like she wanted to, and they lived in peace in the forest.
yes, exactly. And like I did get scared. I was like, "Oh, did Angerboda's magic not work when Hell woke up and he was nowhere to be
Yeah,
fucking
I
seen?"
was
I
afraid
was like,
too.
Where is he? Where did he go? What? No, impossible. And then when he basically came back and was like, listen, if I stayed in here, I wouldn't have been able to listen to your mom's instructions. So
Yeah.
I really needed you to come back. So I could not be here all the time. And I'm like, valid. You're
Yeah.
valid.
And then Hal was like, "I'm sure you've met other people and more interesting people," and I'm like, "No, Hal, stop it."
Yes. And Boulder was basically like, no, you're the
Nope.
one for me. I'm like,
My heart. I want the author to write a story about them too, about how they met and everything.
yes, yes. I like that
I
Hell
like that
wasn't like,
Hal wasn't like her mom. In the end, she was like, "I'm living where I want. I ain't letting you dictate what I do." Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Because like Boulder offered, like, we can, live over there, rebuild the remains, basically.
Mhm.
And he was like, nah, I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, and
And
then so
yeah, he
Balder
was
was
like,
like opposite of Loki.
yeah, and
He was
Boulder
like,
was like, I'm okay with that. Okay,
"Yeah,
sure, whatever. We don't have to be
whatever
this.
you want."
Yeah, exactly, basically. And I'm like, if only Loki gave that energy, but he did.
Uh,
He did not.
he he did not, sadly, but it's okay, I guess.
I mean, it worked for the story, I would
Yeah.
say. So ultimately not a bad thing.
Mhm. Anything else?
That's what I'm trying to think.
I think that was mostly all I had.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Because for me, the thing that made me cry is more like personal thing of me in storytelling. So for me, the fact that like Hell survived and she told the story of her mom and her dad and everyone else to her children, that shit gets to me. Like, it just
Thank
does. It's like, it's the same shit of like, why do I cry watching Coco? Because it's literally about memory. It's about surviving in
you.
the memory of your loved ones. Like, yeah, I'm gonna cry like a little bitch. That is just, it is what it is. Like, that
Mm.
always gets to me. So for me, I can cry either of joy. So this is like sad, bittersweet, bittersweet tears. Like, okay, but she's at least, still remembering her
Mhm.
family and all that. But I can also cry in the reverse, like when it's about being forgotten and like no one does remember you. Like that also will make me cry, but that one will just be straight up sad. I'll still
Oh.
give it 5 stars though. I'll still give it 5 stars. I'll be depressed afterward.
Oh. This was more like bittersweet. It was so,
Yeah.
like, happy, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first thing Hal asked when she, like, woke up, she was like, "Mother?" And I was like, "Oh, poor child.
Literally.
Poor child."
Literally. She was like, "My mom is supposed to be here. Like,
Yeah, she's
where
like, "I
is
don't think
she?"
those footsteps are her. She wouldn't leave me." And I'm like, "I'm glad you know that, Hal."
Literally, literally. I was like, "Oh my god." And also just it's also like a mother sacrifice kind of story because like Angrboda could have lived, but she was like, I'd rather sacrifice myself and make sure that my daughter at least has a fruitful life. Like I
Yeah,
couldn't save my sons. I couldn't save the love of my life basically. I couldn't save Scotty, but if I can at least give my daughter a happy
that's so
life,
sweet. Mhm.
um, I will. And I'm like, amazing.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm
I
still
stole
upset
a
that
rose
you were
that were with us in your pet pot and everybody said no.
See, that's another rendition, okay? That's for another author to do. She shot down to travel the world with Scotty. Honestly, I would have been down for that, you know? But I'm
Yeah,
also like, okay, another author can do that. Another author can do that, can take that plot line. I'm okay with this one. But
yeah,
obviously, my queer little heart definitely wanted that. I'm like, yeah, burn this bitch to the ground and live happily ever after together, watching it all burn. Like, it sounds like a good time, 10 out of 10. But that was not the story this author was trying to tell. And that's
no, that's okay. I really liked it.
yeah.
The ending just had my heart all messed up right before the live show. Okay,
But I
I
think
think
that's it. I
yeah,
think
I think
that's
that's it too.
and oh my gosh,
Unless
I can't believe it. Just you and me, we made it to an hour.
I
And
know, right? I'm
it's
so
actually
shocked.
it's actually Mel, Cat, and me. We made it happen. We got to there
That's true. Yeah,
about it. Cat really
Cat really
MVP.
pulled through.
Yes, yes. Cat
Yeah, hearts
MVP.
to Cat.
100%.
Thanks
Yes.
for being here.
Oh my gosh.
But I think that's about it for today, unless anyone else has final thoughts. We love you.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
It was a pleasure.
Yes, it was a pleasure to read your comments in the chat too. Like, yes.
Lots of emotions in the Discord.
Yes, yes.
But
But
we'll
yeah, I
see.
think that's pretty much it
Mhm.
until
We're
our
reading.
January live, whenever
Yeah.
that happens. I think
If
like yeah.
anyone is feeling the Christmassy vibes, there's still a lot of time to read the book.
Yes,
But
there's still time. My cat literally turned on the TV.
yeah, I was like, what is happening over there?
My cat did this.
They wanted Netflix.
Clearly she was like, "Why aren't you entertaining me more?" Oh my gosh.
I
Chaos.
didn't know if a live show was going to happen. Yeah, that was RB. We were
Yeah,
very
that was our
yeah.
fault. We kept putting it off or forgetting about it entirely.
Yeah, we
So,
were like, if it didn't happen this weekend, it's not gonna happen. So it had to
yeah, that's
happen.
pretty much why we pushed through, even though Mel couldn't join us, because it's like, if it doesn't happen today, it's not gonna
Not
happen.
gonna happen.
So, you know, let's do
But
it.
yeah, we made it. We're here. Thanks for coming on such short notice.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, I think that's about it. So
Yes.
see y'all in January, hopefully.
See y'all in January. Bye.
Bye.